Hello everyone and welcome to another art tutorial. Today I wanted to cover warm-ups because warm-ups are super important. If you want to start drawing for the day and you don't know what to draw, the problem isn't usually that you don't have any ideas, it's that you just haven't warmed up yet. So, before I go rambling like I normally do, which is something I wanted to avoid, let's get into it. First things first, we're going to draw some basic shapes. So, let's draw some squares. Any size, any sort of strength. You can draw them super heavy like this, or super light like this, or super duper light like this, very small. And then we can just vary it as much as we want. Today I'm using a pencil because why not? Pencils are fun too. It's always good to get used to different mediums. But I don't advise you rub anything out. Erasing when you start drawing or when you're trying to practice drawing is probably the worst thing you can do for yourself because you gotta learn to live with the tiny little mistakes that you make. There are some glaring ones that you have to start over, and then those ones you have to kind of accept, but for all the rest you just kind of have to let them slide and just correct the behavior in the future. Or those mistakes are what make your art special. So start with some squares, and then we want to add some circles to this because circles are another generic shape. Squares are less generic, but circles we need to be drawing as well. This is how we draw circles. Instead of doing it like one thing and hoping it's right, just draw several. Just keep going until it looks about right. And you can see we've got some cool looking abstract art already. Just have fun with it. Draw big, draw small, draw anything you want. It's your choice. After circles, we'll do triangles. Triangles are not as frequent, but they're still important to know about. So let's draw some triangles. Triangles are actually super hard to draw because usually they require some kind of measuring to look right, at least equilateral ones anyway. So triangles are next. Point them in different directions. As you can see, I'm not trying to make the first line perfect. I'm just drawing over the lines as much as I can to get the right shape. And I'm not too stressed about which direction it's going or what I'm doing. I'm just drawing a bunch of shapes. And then you have this here, which is super fun. Next, what we want to do is we have options. So let's go into some line control. To do that, I'm just going to move the page down slightly. So there's four things that there's 4 to 5 different line exercises that I've practiced, like continuous line practice, things that I haven't practiced in a while, but there's something I picked up on a guide I looked at earlier on how to get better line control and line everything. So here they are. Do these in one kind of stroke, and then yeah. So first one is like this, so you want to have this, so you want to basically go in and out, and if you can help it, try and make them as even as possible. The next one will be like this. Like that. Next one will be loopy. Like that. And then the last one, this one's the super fun one, but not really. So you go down, loop, 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 doo 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 doo, like that. Okay. You won't start off maybe that great when you try it, but with enough practice you can get it down quite nice and neat. It is something worth practicing because you learn different kinds of lines. the best practice actually is just to draw from life, but these also help as well. Next thing I wanted to cover was this one more in addition to that. So I said there were 5. So this is the 5th one, and this is one where you just don't take your pencil off the page. So you make one small loop, one big loop, and then you just go over that as many times as you can, keeping to the form. And when you break that form by too much like that, that's when it's over. See how many loops you can do. That one's a good one as well. It gets your arm moving and whatnot. The next one I wanted to cover was just adding a bit more perspective, like practicing some perspective. So we take this exercise and we basically 3D it a little bit. So we can either draw cubes, or if that's not very fun, what we can do is we can draw a point, and then instead of drawing a square like 2D like this, we want to draw the square in 3D as a plane like this. And that's all we're going to do for this one. So here, we're basically doing this exercise, but we're doing it slightly differently. And nice small one. So this one you have a little bit easier because things in the distance will be small, and then things closer to us will be big and in bigger detail. And maybe we do a nice big one like this, and try and make it a square, not a rectangle. And the way you do that is you kind of do some foreshortening work and all that. On top of that, you can add circles. So this circles are a little bit trickier. The idea is, actually, I'll make it easier on you. So you use these squares and you basically try and trace a circle inside it. The easiest way to do it, I'll demonstrate on this one, is you just make curves around the corners, and then you do that. So you make curves to indicate where the circle should be, and then you draw. Curve, 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 and then you draw. Curve, 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 draw, 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 draw. And then even with these squares, you can make triangles inside of them. So you just pick a point, and then so you find the midpoint, and then you just draw out from there to the corners. It's not that tricky. And that's basically some of the exercises that we can be doing. Have fun, practice all of them or none of them, or come up with your own, but just to have a healthy little warm-up exercise. I'll give you one more thing that you can do if you're working on line control or drawing straight lines, which is, this one's being done to death, so but I'll cover it here anyway. So you want to draw a point and another point, and then you want to trace the line like this with your arm, and then just draw the line, and then do line, line, line. If you want to be efficient, you can do you can do this exercise with this one, and where you basically go point, 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 line, 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 point, point, line, and then you've got this going. Yeah? So you can do that as well. The other exercise you can do is you can do what we've done here. Point, 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 line, and then underneath we draw a parallel line, and then we keep drawing parallel lines. The other alternative to doing that is just doing some hatching on your work like this. And that basically covers all the exercises I wanted to cover in this one. I have some other warm-up exercises you can do at another time, but for now, try that out. Come up with your own. Tell me about the ones you came up with on your own, and have fun with it. Art is meant to be enjoyed by both the artist and the viewer. So, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Have a great day.